call it season 2.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to season 2 of our Mine and Tom's podcast. Yes, where we'll be talking about the Premier League, which will be starting next Saturday.
Yep, it's officially coming back. Obviously, we've been Euroed out with all the big Premier League news, obviously.
Yeah.
But the big transfer news coming out is, of course, Lionel Messi leaving Barcelona after a very long spell. Out of Barcelona, and everybody's in uproar about it. But obviously, in these difficult times with money and everything like that, you can't really, you can't really tell what's going on at Barcelona. But obviously, Messi wanted to stay, but obviously, money issues.
So the Premier League starts next week with all the fixtures on Saturday and Sunday next week. But the early game next Saturday is Manchester United against Leeds United.
Yes, I reckon, if Jadon Sancho plays, I reckon we've got a chance of winning. Obviously, it was a big goal-scoring hit in Germany, but the Premier League is a different game altogether.
Also, we've got Rafael Varane, who's coming from Real Madrid to Manchester United as well.
I did see that. Obviously, we need some good boost scoring records. Obviously, United was all right in midfield and defense, but the goal scoring is obviously not the top.
The big transfer news is that Jack Grealish has gone to Man City for 100-odd million.
I saw that 100 million. It's obviously he's now officially the UK's most expensive defender in the Premier League, which is saying something.
Also, in the news, also is Romelu Lukaku might be going to Chelsea.
I did see that. Yes, obviously he was. In case you don't know who he was a United striker first. Then he went to Inter, which I think was like a few summers ago. I still can't believe that United sold him. It was the worst transfer mistake in history for United, letting him go. Who knows where they would be now if they kept him on.
So the top four I'm going for is Manchester United win the league. Second will be Leicester. Third will be Chelsea. Fourth will be Chelsea, Tottenham. No, not Tottenham. Maybe Tottenham.
Yeah, I think you got that one spot because I got a feeling that it's going to be the usual suspects up there. Like the Uniteds and the Chelseas and the Man Cities will be in the top four. And I reckon that like a dark horse, Leicester might be there as well. Leicester are considering what happened yesterday in the Community Shield, the way they performed yesterday. It looks like Leicester are going to be there again like they were in 2016. There are a force to be reckoned with.
So if I got winners, I'm going for United or Man City. The Champions League will be Real Madrid or Real Madrid or there'll be a dark horse there somewhere, but I don't know who it'll be.
Yeah. Well, like I told you, I think it's Man United for the league, League Cup, Man City, FA Cup, Leicester City, Champions League, Paris Saint-Germain. Obviously, if the Lionel Messi deal goes through, which is the big news there coming out of Barcelona, like we just said. The European Super Cup is obviously Chelsea's if they play well against Villarreal, who won the European. Gosh, I can't remember what it's called now.
Europa League.
Europa League, that's one, yeah, because they beat Man United last summer, in case you've forgotten.
Yeah, so also, well, the championship started as well.
Can I just say, this is a controversial thing I'm going to say now, but I reckon that the championship is more exciting to watch than the Premier League.
Well, at the minute, I am watching a game, which is Fulham against Middlesbrough, and Fulham will beat Middlesbrough 1-0, and Fulham used to be in the Premier League.
Yeah, exactly, because the championship is like the top four are very close compared to the Premier League top four, because it's like it's decided on the final day of the season, isn't it?
Well, commentary today as well.
No commentary.
No, Coventry.
Oh, I was about to say that's a pre-born game with no commentary involved.
Coventry against Nottingham Forest today.
Yeah, and also coming
Middlesbrough
out.
just scored. That's 1-1. Middlesbrough for them.
So can I just say coming out of the Olympics as well, Brazil won the football tournament, clinching the gold medal which they won in Rio in 2016.
Well, in the Olympics, it would please to know people, Great Britain come fourth with 65 medals in total. Top was the USA, which we knew would happen anyway. Then Japan,
because Americans have the resources. So.
Then Japan, then Republic of Russia, the Russians.
Well, technically they're not called the Russians; they're calling themselves the Russian Olympic Committee. So
the Russian Olympic Committee comes third. Then we got Great Britain. So yeah, it's a pretty good Olympics.
I'm pretty happy with how things went in the Olympics. Of course, of course, like I said, football podcasts, obviously, but huge congratulations to Team Great Britain for doing so well in Tokyo, and obviously all eyes will be on them when they go to Paris in 2024, which will be I don't know how that'll be when the games are on.
So yeah, we got the Paralympics 24th of August. So yeah,
like I said, I don't know how that'll be when the Paris games rolls on.
Don't know, but yeah, as me and Tom both said.
We are back with obviously the Premier, so we're going to try and keep things
to the Premier League. So this will be on every week, people. But when me and Tom get a chance to do it, we will do it.
We will do it, and obviously we're going to try and keep things a little bit interesting. We might play a few games here and there, try and keep, season 2 a bit more interesting. Obviously, season 1 was just a trial, see how we go and see. Like we got a few subscribers here and there, so that's great. Obviously, we want to try and keep things interesting with the podcast and everything, because obviously season 2 is going to be a whole fresh look on the Premier League, and obviously when the transfer window shuts in the beginning of near the end of August, we'll know who will do well, and then etc. But like I said, there's a Premier League. Man City will face Leeds. First game of the season for United, and obviously we'll be covering the Champions League as well. We'll be looking at all the big stories coming out of the Champions League, Europa League as well, and of course FA Cup when that kicks off in the winter. It's very hard to think that comes around that time, but mind you, the Championship's kicked off today, which I didn't know. Yeah, like I'm looking forward to the Premier League season, because obviously it's going to be obviously between Man City and someone else who has the most money, which it is. And then obviously we'll keep an eye on the Premier League table, and obviously the Championship table in England as well. Obviously, when the Champions League comes around, we'll be obviously talking about who you think will win the group stages, and obviously we'll have a look at the what's going on elsewhere in that competition, because obviously it's a long football season. Let's put it that way, because it starts next week and it finishes in May next year. So it's a long discussion ahead. Let's put it that way. So obviously the Premier. So I'll try and get the Premier League table up and see. Premier League table. So obviously, I just want to refresh who's in there. So top of the moment, obviously Arsenal, because nobody's played, and of course at the bottom is Wolves and Leeds United. The favourite team from last season is up there still. West Ham United are there. Tottenham, Southampton, obviously Manchester United. Leicester City, like I said, are going to be the dark horses of the season. Crystal Palace as well. Brentford, I didn't know they were in there. Brentford are in. That's going to be interesting. And Brighton, the seaside town, in there is also. So considering that Brentford obviously came out of the Championship last season, obviously there's going to be one club that goes down from the championship, that's like a badge of honor, isn't it? Pretty much. So before we wrap this up, let's consider this. What out of those teams, who do you think will finish in the top 5? Because you said, all right, you already said it, didn't you? So I'm going to hazard a guess. Arsenal are going to be there. I think Chelsea are going to first place, Man City. Second place will be maybe Liverpool. Third place, Manchester United. That's controversial for me to say. Fourth place, Tottenham, like I said. And I don't know. I think Chelsea might be there as well. And then obviously Chelsea might get the last European place, obviously, to go to the Europa League. But obviously it just depends on how the table looks. And at the moment it looks as like I said, that's my top 5 Premier League predictions.
So, yeah, that's the first podcast done for me and Tom today.
Yeah, we're surely going to be back in the next week or so because, like I said, the Premier League starts this weekend with Manchester United versus Leeds. And if you're on the UK, here's where you can watch it. You can watch it live on Sky Sports in the United Kingdom, or if you have a standard television like we do, there's always Match Today on the BBC around about 10 o'clock at night. If you are big football fans like we are, so. First podcast done. Like I said, Match Today and Sky for live football. Yeah. And of course, if you're not into live football, you can always catch the highlights on BBC One in the UK.
So a big thank you from me, David, for today.
And thank you, big thank you. So this has been the Football Now podcast. We'll see you for season 2, and we'll see you all very soon in the next couple of weeks. Until then, stay safe and have fun.